Good morning. It's safe to say that I missed you all last week. Was it the week before? This whole retreat and everything's been a blur, but Stephanie, it was great to meet you guys in person. And so, who's feeling good about where they are with their business today? Anybody? Somebody? Bueller? I feel good for all of you. Look, the world is moving at such a rapid pace, and sometimes without like comparison and context, you don't really realize how much further you are ahead, right? So if you just go back over like the last several weeks and you think about all the different things you're using with AI, the way that you're positioning yourself to align with the platform and Compass and the access you already have, you are much further ahead than I would say than 90% of people out there. Does anyone actually realize that? Because, like in our own world, right? How many people have kids? Your kids never really realize like how good the home you created for them is, right? Because they have no context or comparison, right? So, look, you're leveraging AI, you're leveraging the platform. You know a thoughtful way to look at things. You understand that everything starts with the client experience first, right? And keep following this framework, right? So, I was on a call today, and I'll share this analogy with you. Is there many people that think that going to the gym, no, first they think that signing up for the gym means they're going to get in shape, right? Then the next thing is that people think that they're going to go just work out means that they're going to get the result they want, right? And there's the saying like abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. That could not be a further statement. You can't work out a bad diet, right? So how does that relate to real estate and why am I not gone crazy today? Many people think if they joined a coaching program in their mind that their business is going to change. Then they think, well, I showed up to all the trainings, so now my bottom line is going to grow. But the reality is that kitchen in this analogy is the application, the role playing, the practicing, your tech workshops with your team, and the constant unhealthy obsession with using what you have. Like the only thing that you all want to know is when I look in the mirror, how do I become the best version of myself? And what am I really capable of? It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, right? Like what someone else eats does not make your stomach full. It just doesn't, right? So like as we go through this, we'll send a survey out either this week or next week just to kind of see where you are, what could be most helpful, right? Because feedback is a two-way conversation. And as Robert Refkin says, is nobody is omitted of feedback. Not him, not anyone else. That's why this company has grown so fast. It's just listening to people, right? So let me share my screen and we'll get started. So we're going to throw in a bonus session on a live launch because I really wanted to dissect more of the coming soon aspect of this. So if you think about this, why does coming soon really actually matter, right? Number one, momentum is the most powerful thing in life, right? Like you, if anyone's been watching the NBA finals, you notice how fast the Indiana Pacers can suck the momentum out of anything by hitting a flurry of three-pointers. You lose momentum, you lose the game, right? That's why the cost of a bad client is terrible because it kills your momentum, right? Listen, the more people that see things, the more money you have an opportunity to get, right? When you use targeted marketing, you get people talking about things. And the most important part is you make strategic business decisions off of real-time insights. Write this down. We can improve the positioning of your home on the market through pre-marketing and collecting strategic feedback. See, there's a big difference. Like when people talk about pricing, words, one word changes everything, right? So if I want to know what Sean Zimmerman and Stephanie Gonzalez, who I'm marrying right now, are looking for in a home, right? And they're looking for an agent, you ask one question, right? Like, what do you feel, right? What are you looking for that an agent can do that you feel you can't do yourself, right? That is one question. Now, if I change that question to what are you looking for an agent to do for you that you can't do on your own, that one word changes the entire client experience and becomes combative, right? Same thing with pricing. We're going to talk about how we're going to price your home in the market. Pricing implies a winner and loser and is combative because it's two different perspectives. If we change the word to how we're going to most effectively Position your home on the market to maximize your equity. That is collaborative and that's tied to the client's goal. Make sense? Changing words changes terminology. No one practices any of this stuff. So you just get more of the same, right? Now, here's where data becomes really important, right? Based on thousands and thousands and thousands of listings at Compass, 81% of Compass Coming Soon sell at or above asking price. So the word track again is, I'll give you two of them, right? Next time you meet a buyer, says, what are you looking for an agent to do for you that you feel you can't do on your own? They're going to create the gap, and in your presentation, your pitch, your consultation, whatever you want to call it, you fill the gap, right? Instead of saying pricing, CMA, any of that, let's discuss how we can most effectively position your home on the market to maximize your equity. Because they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I want that, right? So these numbers don't lie. And what do these numbers tell us? That this works, right? Any person that says pre-marketing is a bad idea does not know marketing. You can explain to me, if just general market launches were the best, why do the most successful companies in the world all do pre-marketing? If you could release a movie and everyone would just be there, there's no point of a movie trailer. There's no point of marketing. Do you think companies spend thousands of dollars for a billboard on the West Side Highway of New York City every month because the pre-marketing doesn't work? No, it works. But anything without a strategy is pointless. We don't want to leave things to chance. We're experts in what we do. We're consultants, we're advisors. Imagine hiring a consultant or advisor for your finances that had no plan. You'd leave, right? But there's another side to this coin. There's a benefit to buyers to this too, right? You might be able to find your ideal home faster, right? Is parts of your market competitive? Raise your hand, right? Some yes, some no. I'm going to buy a home next summer again. I will want to buy a home that's a private exclusive or coming soon because I'm willing to pay for what I want. I don't want to compete with other people. People that have been beat out on tons of properties will pay a premium and just not to have the stress, right? It's also a competitive advantage. Sometimes when things go to market, you have no idea what's going to happen. Homes that you think might sit all of a sudden get 5 offers, right? It's timing too, right? Everyone also feels good when they have access to something everyone else doesn't. And it also gives buyers a bigger selection. So by a virtue of working with you and your coming soon and private exclusive inventory, buyers have access to more homes on the market than any other brokerage because we have a large inventory. And this is where collaborative growth really comes into play. Because if everyone put all their listings into 3-phase marketing, you'd have the largest database of private homes out of anyone in the entire state. And Sean's like a statistical nerd, so he can tell you what percentage market share you have in this place and that place. And literally think about this. In some markets, Sean, I need to borrow your brain for a second. How many different places you have how many different neighborhoods or areas you have 20+% market share?
I mean, I have to look at zip codes, but I'm guessing we're probably 8 to 10 zip codes. So that's going to be PV, Arcadia, Arcadia Light, Central Scottsdale, area codes in North Scottsdale. So I'd say a pretty reasonable amount, without a doubt.
So think about this. If everyone learned the private exclusive pitch that we're talking about and the 3-phase marketing pitch in any of those markets, by the way, I didn't come up with this. Robert did in 2019 because Compass has 20% or more market share in the top 20 in the majority of the top 20 metro markets in the country, right? So Robert said, if you're not on compass.com, you're missing out on 20% of the market. Now think about the distinct advantage if all of us actually thought of this as a strategy. So Rhonda's buyers, if she was buying in the zip codes, have access to 20% more inventory than any other place. Do you think that's not going to help you get buyer consultations? Do you think that's not going to help you sell your listings on your pitch and get new clients? Of course it will. Like what I want you to see in this part is how all of these things come together, right? All of it. And don't worry, there is a ChatGPT demo in the end on how to do some of this stuff. And I got some new tricks for all of you to share. Who's been enjoying all the AI stuff that we've been doing? Here's an interesting thing. I'll share with you guys a super prompt at the end of this we did with our coaching clients that literally will teach you how to build a world-class personalized outreach campaign to every client so they never lose touch and they keep referring to people. It's like the coolest thing, right? There's so many different things we can do, but here's the most important thing. I'm going to give you the shiny penny. I'm going to save you time. But if you don't learn the skill of talking to people and explaining what you do in the direct benefit of the other person's unique goals, situations, and expectations, all of the other stuff doesn't matter. So don't get caught in the weeds of all this stuff. It is the weeds because the important prerequisite is your ability to communicate with people. Now, think about this. I don't know anything about Arizona. I've only been to Phoenix once. I don't know anything about a suburb, a town, a city, a community, or anything. If I went on a listing presentation against you, do you think I'd have a good chance of winning? I do. You want to know why? Because I can ask any person a series of questions to understand their motivations, their expectations, their disappointments, their concerns, what they're looking for in an agent, exactly what that looks like. I can share with them a structured communication plan, a marketing plan. And then the only part I don't know is local pricing, and I would just hire an appraiser for 500 bucks. That's it. And I would just phrase it by saying, you know what, is your home your most valuable asset? Yes. Are you looking to get absolutely every single dollar humanly imaginable where you can sleep at night knowing you didn't leave a single penny on the table? Absolutely. So if you were selling a $500,000 piece of jewelry, would you go to a jeweler and have them give you a value, or would you have the appraiser do it so you could get the full equity out of it? Oh no, I'd want an appraiser. Great. That's exactly what I'm gonna do for your home because they see how important this is to you. That's the end of it, right? And the only difference between any of us on this call is the amount of time we put into practicing these conversations and the application of what we do. This is not like some skill that's available. It's not like professional athletes where you have to have like certain God-given talent, skill, physicality. No. The people that practice the most will be the best at this, right? The people that use AI the most will be the most efficient and fluid in this, right? So let's think about sellers, right? Exposure, insights, faster sales. Exposure. There's no person that wants less exposure in their home. There's no person that doesn't want thoughtful insights and information before they go on the market. And there's no person that said you sold my home too fast. Three distinct categories. So before you even go here, you need to have the feedback meeting, right? Remember, the whole goal of three-phase marketing is for one, three different launches, but two, to gather something of value from each phase, right? So we always talk about, and write this down if you've not heard me say this 100 times already, purpose, outcome, next step, right? Say we're measuring price and condition. So I would sit down and say, Sean and Stephanie, the purpose of measuring price and condition through our private exclusive launch is that we can understand that in its current condition, without doing any renovations, would a buyer be willing to pay this price for this home? The outcome is we're going to realize yes, and we may or may not have a buyer, and we can move to the next stage, or we're going to realize that we may have to either do the upgrades or improve the price for the current condition. So that's the purpose, that's the outcome. And the next step is we're going to make the necessary adjustments going into the coming soon because we want to have these adjustments done so we could get the largest buyer pool, momentum, and demand going into your live launch. And just remember, and I always say this, just remember at any point you can choose to accept or decline an offer. You are 100% in control. If you said that to a client, would they feel good about it? I would believe so, right? Because it's all about them. Now, here's your checklist. Create new marketing through AI, which we'll show you how to do. Agent to agent marketing. Reach out to your team and pull all the agents from broker metrics in the area and create a campaign for them. Client focused marketing, right? Like some of you have epic properties that you could just send to your database with like a cool experiential story, like we shared before in ChatGPT, and they might share it with other people, right? Digital ads. We talked about digital ads and how to pull reports that we could send it to feeder markets and everything else like that, right? Like you're showing your client that you're not a real estate agent or a salesperson. You're showing them that you're a home selling strategist, right? It's a big difference. You're not a service provider, you're a strategist. Because when you apply this exact system, it's based on strategy, execution, and client experience. So if somebody says, what makes you different? I just came up with this now. I would just say strategy, execution, and client experience. And they're going to ask you, well, what does that mean? And now you've isolated the conversation to a place that only you can win. Do you all like see, and I know I'm going fast today. I'm like extra excited about this topic. Do you guys all see how unique what you have is? Hit yes, no, or maybe in the chat. Let's see where everybody is. I want all of you to think, feel, and walk into every client appointment like this is mine to lose and mine to choose. Right? I remember walking in as an agent, being like 27 years old, going to houses I never even thought I'd walk into. And I'd be like, mine to lose, mine to choose, mine to lose, mine to choose, mine to lose, mine to choose, mine to lose. Because if you walk that way and your brain thinks that way, that's you're going to show up, right? You need to know that you're the best person for the job before you even get there. And like the open house school of thought, right? We're going to do a whole, like, I can spend a whole 30 minutes to an hour with you on open houses and live launches. So I don't want to rush over it today, right? And so my open house school of thought is this: the whole goal of phase one and phase two is curate traffic, momentum, and interesting buyers and drive them all to the open house, right? Unless I'm an ultra luxury client that wanted to sell off market, I'd be bringing people through all these phases, and then I would, put my digital ad on Friday. I'd run it till Monday. Monday, I'd start the open house ad. I would tell everyone my clients are not taking offers till the following Monday. And guess what? Most people are busy during the week and work, and they're going to go on the weekend for the open house. Now, before the open house, 30 minutes before, I'd get a sponsor, or I would just pay the money for myself, like put out some nice bites, put out some wine, and I'd invite all of the neighbors. So when that open house opens, you have clients, you have agents with their clients, and just tell people, right? Some MLSs are weird about this, where you can put a house on the market, and like if you don't let people into showings, you're like, all our showings start, like they don't want to give you that marketing time, right? So look at your local MLS rules, but tell people, yeah, we'll do one showing in the week, and if they want to do a second showing, tell them to come back on the weekend, right? Your clients have every right to just let people in once, and then say, yeah, we're not available, we don't have the time, like you have to come on the weekend, and let everyone come at once. That's what creates the highest possible outcome for your client. Because here's the thing: if I'm in an open house, Monica and I are in an open house, my fellow Aries, and we really like the house and we saw it in Coming Soon or Private Exclusive, and we see 50 other people in there, do you think we're going to pay more or less? We're going to pay as much as we can because we really want the house. And the goal in any kind of thing that you want people to pay is remove logic and install emotion. So if people are making emotional decisions on a home, that is the best thing for your client. No person wants to tell their partner that they have the money and they don't want to pay. That's a kind of like playing chess, right? It's like check. So think of it like this. It's a blend of like a movie trailer meets Tesla, right? A movie trailer builds momentum, and that's what a coming soon can do. Tesla has a curated list of buyers. That's what the two phases of launches can do, right? So Monica and I are looking at a home, and Lisa's the listing agent. Hey, Lisa. And so, we contact Lisa and we're like, hey, we're really thinking of making an offer. That's great. Sean and Stephanie are a team. They're our agents. We really want to make an offer. Sean and Stephanie contact Lisa. Lisa says to them, hey, happy to present your offer. My clients have not indicated whether or not they want to go on the MLS. So just put your best foot forward and I'll have a conversation with them. That's it. That ambiguity will drive somebody crazy, because they're either going to present their offer, not care, not present their offer where we don't care, because eventually they'll come back. Or the third one will be, how much do we need to pay for this not to go on the MLS? Like, what do you want? Right. And as a listing agent, these are the stories that you want to curate. You got to remember, you got to live for the present and build for the future. So what does that specifically mean? You give your best foot forward, but what we're doing is building for the future because we're curating stories and experiences that we can use on our pitches. Now, imagine somebody pitch against Lisa And Lisa now had stories of her three-phase launches, multiple offers, 110% of the asking, a client selling in private exclusive that got like a 3-month free rent back and all these different things they wanted because of her marketing strategy. Who do you think somebody's going to hire? Look, there's 77 out of the 400 people that registered for this year. Who do you think's missing out on this conversation? The other 300 people, because they're not going to go in and say the same thing, right? The only difference between agents in a marketplace is how they communicate the value that they have and the stories and track record that they have. So regardless if you're like at the top of your game, aspiring in your game, start thinking about the way you do three-phase marketing and the momentum and stories you're going to build in the future that can help you get other clients. I don't believe in this whole working in silo concept. Like, I'm just going to do this for the, like, no. Remember, you guys are strategists, executionists, and client experience people. This improves the experience of all your future clients by opening their mind up to possibility. Coming soon, right? Like, this is the last part we'll get into, but you can now create all of your marketing in one place where you don't have to go through old threads or anything else like that in ChatGPT. You could be like Tesla, Blockbuster, Hermes, Disney. You just write it. How would Disney market this home? How would Tesla market this home? Can you combine the Disney, Tesla, and movie trip? Like, that's all you need to do. Like, this is not complicated. So what we're going to show you is how to organize everything you do for a seller in one place so that you don't have to go to multiple threads. And each time you do it, you can get more information. Multi-channel marketing, right? So number one, you're going to want to market to Compass agents. Number two, you're going to run digital ads. Number three, you're going to market to agents. If I was in the higher price listings, like 5 million and up, I would personally call every single person that sold a home in that zip code the last 12 to 24 months and then tell my client I'm doing it. There's 100 agents that have sold properties like this. I will call every single one of them. Do you think that's ever going to hurt your sales and networking? No. One of my best clients is in the Hamptons. He does about $300 million in sales. You know where he gets all his deals? He literally calls people all day long. That's all he wants to do. His entire team is structured so he can just lock his door and call people. I don't know anyone that likes talking to people more than he does. He's like, dude, this is how deals get made, right? I have agents that I'm on the phone with pitching my private listings as, hey, I actually have this one coming up. Do you have a buyer? Yeah, I have a buyer. Deal gets done. But you got to remember now, as an agent, you become a person worth knowing to some of these other people. Like, hey, he had a listing here. Like, hey, I have a buyer looking in this neighborhood. Do you have anything else coming up? It starts a conversation and a reputation, right? And we all know when you make offers with people that you have existing relationships with, they push your offers more than other because they know how you work, right? You know how many times in multiple offers, I'll tell my clients, I hear all the offers, but I know Monica and Sean wrote this offer and I've worked with them in the past and their clients are well qualified. They manage the transaction. You know what? We'll go with that one. Remember, everyone's brain is wired for certainty and comfort. So that's how this all works, right? How to pitch, right? You meet the sellers where they are. Like, understand from them what's unique about their property. What stories do they want to tell, right? You tailor your approach to like what their concerns are. Well, I don't really want to show this, but I really want to show this. And then you create that experience, right? Help them visualize the coming soon advantage, right? So this is where if you have really good like 60-second like Instagram highlight reels, it's really important. So if you walk around the house and you ask people questions like, and I could do a whole, we've done 8 hours on a listing presentation before, believe it or not. So if I walked into a home and like, I'm now going around and we're talking about doing coming soon and all these different marketing tactics, I would say, hey, what rooms or what areas of your home are your favorite experiences lived in? Tell me about that room. Tell me about that experience. What made you buy the house? What do you love most about the house? What is it about the location, the proximity to the community, right? What's one thing about this house that no one would ever know about unless they lived here? Like if I look at my house I live in now, my unknown feature is there's more than 12 feet of rod space in the closets in our master bedroom, right? Like I personally need a closet that has more than 7 feet of like rods, like way more than that, right? But people don't think about these things. So you hire a videographer, you make the investment for today, but building the future. Here's the movie trailer and the experiences you have. Done. Oops. So look, here's some closing questions, right? That are great. Would the agent and company that brings you the most buyers to the home get you the highest price? Yes, great. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Let me show you how. Online exposure. What's the financial impact of 1,000+ buyers viewing your home online before it hits the market? They're now going to start selling themselves on why they should work with you. Great. Do you want to share? Can we share with you exactly how we'll make that happen? Competitive edge. What's the benefit of being the only home offering pre-construction options in your area? You can offer 3-2-1 buy downs, customization, all kinds of different stuff. There's actually a really cool AI that's being, if you guys are at the retreat, they're two friends of mine. They have this thing, Construct AI. It's the craziest thing in the world. You can literally take a picture of any room, remove furniture. It's built for design. I want black concrete floors with a wood tilted ceiling. You could upload plans, and their developer pitch is they literally upload plans into like these meta goggles, right? And you can stand, it's like you're literally standing in the room to the spec, to the design, to everything else. It's wild. So there's so many different things you can do today. But again, I'm going to go back to the beginning. If you don't know how to talk and communicate with people, you're not going to have the opportunity to show what you do. Now, here's the other part. This is my support of Stephanie, Sean, and Monica here. Always follow your local laws and regulation. Check with your sales manager about specific regional requirements before doing any of these strategies. All right, does anyone have questions on that before I go to our live AI demo for the day? You all ready? All right, so a couple quick tips and tricks. So there's a feature here, this little microphone. I want to create a follow-up campaign to my buyers. I need you to ask me questions one by one so that you can understand the personal nature in which I communicate with people, my style of staying in touch, what I find most effective. From there, I need you to build me a world-class follow-up campaign for the next 6 months with monthly touch points with a combination of what you think the best practices are based on who I am as a person, how I communicate with my clients, and what my unique value proposition is. I generally like to give gifts. I'm a thoughtful person. I like to share experiences. And this is what I need help thinking through to accomplish. There it is. See, there is an actual talk feature, but the talk to text is really important because we're all generally better communicators in thought, and this can collect all the brain dumps. Now, that's one of the cool tricks I want to show you. Now, here's this thing. There's a thing called projects, right? Now, you're going to want to label your project 123 Main Street, right? Great project. Now you can add files, right? Now think of the files as the brain that this is pulling information from, right? Has anyone here bought the plot note that we talked about? Anybody? Monica? All right. Everyone please get a plot note, right? Roxanne, thank you. So you take your plot note. I go on my listing appointment with Sean and Stephanie. Every single word that they said to me is in here. Boom, I add it into this section, right? I'm adding files, I'm adding files. Then I'm building all of my marketing in here as well, right? So now when I want to tailor the message to coming soon, when I want to pull those unique experiences or anything like that, all of this is built in one property. Every single phone call, right? Even with an iPhone on the top left-hand side, there's like a little microphone or something like that. You can record the call. I would say, Stephanie and Sean, can I record the call? Because I'm not in front of a computer. I want to capture every detail you send, and I'll send you a recap email. You can use the plot or you can use your iPhone. You put all the information here. Do you ever have something that slips through the cracks now? Nope. Do you have a centralized place to coordinate all your marketing, your efforts, your results, your insights reports so this thing can help guide you? 100%. So that is our little AI portion for the day. All right, we landed exactly. Sean always finds this interesting how I land at the end at 1:30 on the dot. It's all tied up in a bow. All right. Well, I always like that. You guys hold a special place in my heart. So I'm always happy to stay on. I put a block after this. So if you guys have any questions, how do you get chat to recall a conversation? Well, a couple different ways, right? In the, there's a section here. Oops. Memory. You can see what's in, you could manage memories here. So like when you're doing chats for other people, like I have to write, I'm working with a client, or it thinks I'm a real estate agent or something like that. So at the end of every day, I'm going in here and looking at the memories that it has and scrubbing out all the things I don't want, right? In a project, when you add files, it's pulling from that subset, right? So you can also, there's another section here, personalization, right? Wait a second. Let me go back. Personalized. What should ChatGPT call you? What do you do? Describe what traits it could have, right? You could write remove M dashes. Like another good prompt is in everything that you do, apply thought, reasoning, critical thinking. Go slow and check your work over 5 times to make sure it's thorough and correct. Make sure to present both sides of the perspective and identify any blind spots based on everything you know about me. And this will change all of your outputs. We could literally sit here for like the next 3 hours doing this. So you'll get an email about this all soon, but so one of the things that we are doing, right? Our program opens up once a quarter. So we'll have next week 2 webinars on how to understand what's in your brain and dump it out so that you could build your own personal Compass One system. And then also every different touch point in AI. And for those people who want to really go all in, like part of our program for the summer months where people do actually have time, I built a 4-part AI course. So most of them are interactive workshops, but at the end of it, you will know how to do everything in your business in AI, and your chat GBT will be decked out in ways that you'll never imagine. So let me just give you kind of like something cool that you guys can all use today. Let me just pull this up. All right, so check this out. Where is my So for all of the things that we do with our clients, like the most helpful thing with AI is like having what I would call super prompts, right? So this literally, I sent it to you guys. Go try this afternoon. Is a super prompt. This entire one page is the prompt, right? So if you read it, it says, I'm a real estate agent who helped a client close on a home. I want to create a world-class post follow campaign that keeps me top of mind in a thoughtful, personal, and relationship-driven way. Please ask me a series of questions one by one to gather information about the buyer's family makeup, personal interest. There's a whole list. Once I've answered all the questions, use my answers to generate a monthly follow-up campaign through the end of the year that includes personalized gifts or gestures, suggested phone calls or text check-in, newsletter themes that feel valuable and relevant, invitations to coffee, lunch, or events, light touch, real estate positioning where appropriate. Format the final answer month by month, June to December, with bold headers and bullet points under each month. Make sure each touch point feels warm, thoughtful, personal, and non-salesy, helping me build a long-term relationship while staying top of mind. At the end, ask if you want this turned into a printable checklist, a Google Sheet, or CRM task import format. Do you know how much time this saves you right here? And then it's done. You could say, now write me the newsletter, pull relevant information, like, and every person will feel that what you're doing is for them, right? So now let's go into, remember I said you have to live for the present? but build for the future. Now, say you use the plug note strategy I had and put all of your conversations with a buyer into that project. And at the end, when Sean, Stephanie, and Monica bought a home together, I could now stick this prompt in, and based on hours of conversations, it's going to pull every single thing I need to know about them. And they're going to be like, holy shit, how do you know all of this stuff? You're going to look like the most thoughtful genius in the world. So that is my preview on technology. So does anyone have any questions before we sign off till next week? Anybody? All right, cool. Listen, use the stuff, practice, love in my heart, love you all. You all are some of my favorite humans to work with each week. It's always an honor and a privilege. And enjoy your tech workshop tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.